You probably don't know me, but odds are you feel bad for me. You see, I'm Prospector's wife, Tara. I know what you're thinking. Oh, that poor woman. The truth is, he's the sweetest guy. Most of the time. But when he starts rambling, yeah, you have no idea. It's actually far worse than you can imagine. In fact, here's a little taste of my world. It's time for Prospector's Picky Pet Peeves on Rock 107.
You know, I don't know how many times you have to hear it or how many times I got to say it, but the phrase is, I couldn't care less. Not I could care less. You say it when you absolutely do not care about something. So if you say, I could care less, that actually indicates you care to some degree because, hey, you could care less. There is a lesser amount that you could care. However, if you say the proper phrase, I couldn't care less, that means you don't care at all, which is the feeling you're attempting to convey.
Seriously?
For some reason, it drives me crazy when people ask me, can I ask you a question? Too late, buddy. All right? You cannot ask that without already asking me a question. So how about we skip the preamble and you just get to the actual question? What am I, so important that you can't be questioning me? Come on.
All right.
And this is a note to the lady getting off the 4th floor of the Times building on Friday on the elevator. Hey, thanks for pushing 1 as you got off the elevator and looked at me waiting to get on dead in the eye, thereby sending the elevator all the way back to 1 while I was wanting to go up. Yeah, that's why I pushed the up button. Not sure if you're aware of this, but the elevator will go back to 1 all on its own if no one else is using it. So there's no need for you to force it to go back down when you exit. Thanks for screwing me, yambag.
Good Lord. You think that was bad? Try living with him. Love you, honey. Mean it.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Today is National Have a Bad Day Day. Cowboys fans were like, yeah, after the Texans game last night, not a problem. Snoop Dogg says he didn't endorse a presidential candidate this year because he doesn't believe in putting people into separate groups, of course, with the exception of pimps and hoes. Beyonce will perform at halftime of the Ravens-Texans Christmas Day game on Netflix. I can't wait to watch it, buffer.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Right, I mean, don't we all? Most of us? It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. And Kate, a new study in Canada found you should try adding one of Canada's most famous exports instead.
Researchers found that using maple syrup in your coffee comes with some major health benefits. Unlike refined sugar, it's got more than 100 compounds and antioxidants that can boost immunity and help with inflammation.
Okay.
It's kind of shocking.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of people use maple syrup instead of sugar for several months. Here are the 4 major health benefits that they saw.
I can't wait.
Number 1, better blood sugar levels. Their blood sugar didn't spike as much, so switching to maple syrup can help you avoid diabetes.
Good, because, my coffee order already sounds like a dessert. Venti caramel macchiato upside down, 2 pumps of vanilla, light whip. But put the maple syrup in. I'm health conscious.
Number 2, their blood pressure fell. The average person systolic blood pressure, so that's the top number, fell by 3 points.
I don't even know what a systolic is. Who decided we needed 2 numbers for blood pressure? Oh, your systolic's good, but your diastolic's lazy. You're just lying there. 1 is enough.
Number 3, less belly fat.
Why do I feel this is all about me?
Fat around their abdomen slowly but surely started melting away.
All right, so now we're saying syrup can help you lose weight. Next thing you know, IHOP's going to be rebranding as a fitness center, and people will be there squatting pancakes. Dude, are you bulking? Nah, man, I'm shredding. Pass the syrup.
Pass the syrup. Number 4, improved gut health. They ended up with less harmful bacteria in their gut and more good bacteria, so their digestion was better.
Right now, my gut bacteria is down there holding a little rally in my belly. Guys, good news! He's going to be off refined sugar. Let's thrive!
To be clear, we're talking about real maple syrup. Real maple syrup. Okay. Loading your coffee up with Mrs. Butterworth won't help.
Because apparently, if you dump Mrs. Butterworth in there, you're just going to be chugging corn syrup and lies. Poor Mrs. Butterworth. She's just trying to make her coffee taste like candy, and now she's public enemy number 1. Look, I'm all for this. Maple syrup coffee, why not? But if I start waking up craving bacon and eggs every time I smell a cup of coffee, I'm blaming Canada. To sit with other people I don't know. I always get an aisle seat. I buy an aisle seat. I rush in to get it, whatever I got to do, so that there's only people on one side of me instead of two. This is important because I went to a concert with my brother. Now, my wife, Tara, was supposed to go, but she had to cancel at the last minute, so I had an extra seat. Bonus for me. Not only do I have the aisle seat, but now I got a buffer seat, too. We get to the show. My brother's sitting next to me, and I say, move over. And he's like, well, I don't want to sit next to someone else if we have an extra seat. I say, we don't have an extra seat. I have an extra seat. I kept that buffer the entire time. I made my brother sit next to a random stranger. Am I a jerk?
I'm sorry, Prospector, it does. And it makes you very selfish.
I'm okay with that. I need to be selfish in certain situations. Sometimes you got to worry about you because no one else is gonna. You know what I'm saying? Let's go and find out what people are saying. We're heading to the Rock Lines, Rock 107. Am I a jerk?
Yeah, Prospector. You should find a way to make it work. Maybe get refunded for your ticket.
What?
I don't know, but you're kind of a jerk.
Got one on the Rock Lines. Is Prospector a jerk today on Rock 107?
Yeah, I don't think you're a jerk, Prospector. You know, I'm claustrophobic.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, I like people away from me. You get it like on the supermarket lines. You got someone like breathing on your neck, and you know what? Your brother should understand it.
That's right. He should. He knows me better than almost anybody. He should. I think that's fair.
Karen from your Facebook said, no, not a jerk. Your brother has known you all your life, and he knows how you are.
True.
Which
Actually,
that
he's
is
known
valid.
me. Yeah, except that I'm older, so he's only known me all his life. But that's okay.
Chip from your Twitter said, you certainly have a few issues. That's your brother, not a John Doe. Yes, you're a jerk today.
All right, fine. We're going to hit it up. Open mic on the Rock 107 app. Am I a jerk?
Being that person that also requests to sit on the aisle seat, I get it, but I would sit next to someone I know. Are you a jerk? No. But I feel for your brother because he had to sit next to a stranger.
I get it. I feel for him, too. Better him than me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness. Renee from your Twitter said, first, I'm surprised at the job that you have social anxiety issues. That being said, yes, in this instance, you are a jerk.
Listen, my job, 99% of it is locked in a room. It's not a big deal.
We don't leave this little box that we're in. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Laura from our TikTok said, that would have been the weirdest, most awkward concert ever for me if I was in your brother's shoes. Jerk.
Just wear your own shoes. You don't have to worry about that. That's not what you meant.
I
get it. It might have been weird for him, but it was better for me. Do you see what I'm saying? That's important to me. Got one. Nancy, check it in on the Rock Lines. Rock 107. Am I a jerk?
It makes you a spoiled jerk.
Spoiled.
I'm sorry. Now, let me ask you, would this be the same brother that is hooking you up for tickets for this Friday's concert?
It's absolutely the same brother.
Oh, my goodness. You should be ashamed. That's all I got to say.
That shows you how much my brother loves me. He's still got tickets for this show for us.
Spoiled and selfish. Debbie from your Facebook said, nope, I always buy extra tickets so I have a buffer space. Just because they're family doesn't mean it's hard for when someone invades your bubble. Even my family knows that if I can reach out and touch them, they are too close.
I think that's a good thing. I used to hate the phone book saying, reach out and touch somebody. I'm like, please don't. Stick away. I don't need you near me. In the question today of, am I a jerk for going to a concert with my brother when my wife dropped out at the last minute, instead of giving him that seat so he could sit next to me and we had a buffer between all the strangers, I kept the buffer for myself. According to you, Northeast PA, barely, just barely, but I'll take it. I am not a jerk.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A 17-year-old in California named Sophia Park just became the youngest person to pass the state's bar exam. She got her law degree this year after enrolling in law school at age 13. She also earned some serious bragging rights because the record used to belong to her brother, Peter. He passed the bar a year ago at 17 years and 11 months old. She passed it at 17 years and 8 months.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107. Your neighbors and gather around the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Jam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
Have you ever had to buy something something random just to use the restroom at a place where the bathrooms were only for customers. This is sort of like the criminal version of that. A man in Texas tried to rob a Family Dollar a while back. Even though he acted like he had a gun, the clerk said the register wouldn't open unless a purchase was made, so the man tried to buy nail clippers. The clerk rang up the transaction. The register did pop open. However, the employee quickly closed the drawer as soon as it opened. I mean, this clerk was really risking their life for Family Dollar. The robber got frustrated and stormed out. It's unclear if he actually purchased the nail clippers or just left them. The clerk called the cops, and they caught up with the man. He admitted to pretending to have a firearm to rob the place. He was charged with robbery and resisting arrest.
Nominee number 2.
A new bar has been set for the most stressful crime you could possibly commit. A 28-year-old man from South Korea was arrested at an airport in Peru the other day after trying to smuggle 320 tarantulas through security by strapping them to his body. 285 were babies packed in plastic tubes, but there were 35 full-grown tarantulas described as the size of a human hand. He had them stuffed in bags and belted to his torso. Security flagged him when they noticed his stomach seemed abnormally swollen. On top of the 320 tarantulas, he also had 110 centipedes strapped to his body and 9 bullet ants. Bullet ants are known for having the most painful sting of any insect. Authorities think he poached them from the Amazon with plans to resell them overseas. He was flying back to South Korea with a layover in France.
And the winner is...
The smuggler who was caught with 320 tarantulas strapped to his body. You're the Yam Bag of the Day, and we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.